We can go on a record with the pricing year 2 and year 3, 15.
What's the pricing?
Year 1, 20,000 plus the 1,500 expenses.
Yeah.
Year 2 at 15 plus no expenses, and year 3 at 10 plus no expenses.
Is that correct?
That's good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What was your foot?
10. What he said? You didn't put no. I'm gonna talk about it.
I have a motion by Ben, second by Melissa. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll negotiate.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
It's on me. I'll be in time.
Item number 12, discussion of possible action item, local businessman James Frazier Jr., owner of F&W Electric Incorporated, to present his plan for the community solar project for Floresville. James, you have the floor, sir.
All right, Andy. Okay. I know a lot of y'all don't know me, but I'm own F&W Electric, and we've kind of been in the renewable energy business for a while. We did a bunch of work out at West Texas with the wind farms and that kind of stuff. But I can tell you, Wilson County's not suitable for wind farms. I mean, you know, but we are suitable for solar power. And I recently went back to college and got certified to where I can design and install and maintain solar systems. But the main reason why I want to talk to you all is because I'd like to generate some interest in a solar, community solar system here in Wilson County. The thing is, y'all, and we're lucky we have Ms. Brown here, and she's going to be able to explain to you more than what I'm going to be getting into about the dollars and cents. But it really wouldn't cost y'all anything other than get together with Phelps and put this together, because there's lots of different ways that this could be done. There's lots of different kinds of community solar projects. Mr. Lady that's with the Phelps board right now.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, they've discussed it. I've been over there, and they're saying, oh, well, we're going to build a community solar system, but we're going to do it for the school districts. And that's not really a community solar system.
Is that the one that they started in Laverne? They built that big field in Laverne? And they picked up like five locations?
They're talking about the locations.
They got one like right there.
Nothing's been decided, so.
But my point to y'all is that's not really a community solar system. That's it. That's going to benefit the school district, and that's not really going to benefit low-income people or that kind of stuff. But the point that I'm making to y'all is this could be sold out before it's ever made, and the city of Floresville could be one of the biggest benefits of it, because can you imagine how much energy that they use in a year's time or even in a month's time? And it's back that Field of Dreams deal. If you build it, they'll come. Because if you went to HEB and said, hey, I guarantee you we can, if you buy into this, your energy bill is going to go down by 20%. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to buy a big chunk of that solar farm that you're going to be putting in. Walmart, the same way. Any business around here that uses much energy, electricity, that's going to be interested in doing this. And so I'm saying the city of Floresville could be one of the biggest customers for it. And the school districts could even get in on it and buy into a share of it. And I can tell you for sure, Wilson County is not hurting for vacant land to where this could be put in. There's lots and lots of sites. This is where I think that you guys could come in. Some of y'all's properties and stuff could be y'all's buy-in to getting this thing going. You know, you could say, hey, we're willing to put this in. Yes, sir.
How many acres would it take?
That's what my question was.
Okay, for 1 megawatt, it takes about 5 acres.
It depends. There's
Yeah.
a lot of variables.
Yes, there's a lot of variables, but I can tell you where we're at, if you look at the globe, we're at a place where we can average 6 hours a day where you're collecting energy. Now, you're collecting energy from the sun comes up and goes down, but on average, your peak energy is 5. And to give you an example of where we're at, I just put a solar system on in my office. Our electric bill there was running us any place from $1,200 to $1,800 a month. Of course, a little bit less in the winter, a little bit more in the summer when we're running air conditioner stuff. And I put it on a 100 kilowatt system, and Phelps pays me at the end of every month. But Phelps' policy is not solar friendly here, I can tell you that for sure. It's
I read about it.
well, you know, this is one of the things. There's a thing called net metering where whatever I produce, they buy. It costs them. Right now, they don't have a net metering bill because they buy it from I buy it from them when the sun's is down and I'm not producing any, and it's costing me 11 cents. But when the sun's up and I'm producing more than what I'm using, they keep paying me 5.5 cents.
The state of Texas has one.
Well, Phelps doesn't.
That's what
Yeah, but they have to pay the same rate, don't they?
you're taking off. There's a lot of different variables, and if I could,
Yeah, go ahead, step up.
and Mr. Frazier is correct with a lot of things. My name is Sharon Brown, and I've been in the solar business most of my adult life. And I am a CPS energy ratepayer, and I was very instrumental in a lot of their solar projects that they have. Community solar, if it's for a school district, if it's for a city, if you want a solar farm, I work with a developer. We can, if you'd like, do a formal presentation in conjunction with Mr. Frazier to look at a couple of sites, to give you the pricing, to see the benefits, and then if you want to, we could go from there. I've worked with a lot of utility companies, co-ops, municipal-owned, investor-owned utilities, et cetera, and there's some real benefits to having your own municipal-owned utility company. And the benefits will be for the benefits of all.
Are we on public?
54%.
Along those lines, too, something I need to point out to you is you really, now you need to strike while the iron's hot, because right now, if you do this, one of the selling points that you've got is you get a 30% tax credit on what you're part of that. In other words, if you HEB comes in and says, oh, all right, I'll buy you for $100,000, they know that they're going to get $30,000 tax credit for spending that.
And even more than
Yeah.
So what does an
And-
average size field cost per, like an acre, like what you get started on? That's,
And I just purchased a new car, and I looked at a lot of cars on the internet,
yeah.
but it wasn't until I got behind my car did I say, I want this one. We will do an analysis
Okay.
of properties that the city may own, or something, or private businesses may own, and there's a lot of different variables. And to come with you with a proposal, and say, this is what this will be, working for Junkert, Mr. Frazier, this is how much it'll be, this is what it will cost, this is how much we will do as developers. There's a thing called excuse me for not standing for trust and stress, power purchase agreement. So that'd be something that we would talk to with your local utility company, where we take all the risks, we do all the buildings, and we sell the power back to you at a very comparable, competitive rate. So if you are paying 11 cents, hypothetically, 11 cents, and we can build you a power plant that we can charge you all a certain amount that you charge back to the customers, you're going to be saving money. I think I met you two gentlemen one other time. I was working with a man named Daryl Brown. Yeah, I never forget the name.
Oh,
So,
Daryl.
yeah. Is he still around?
Well,
Well, anyway, I don't want to get off the subject, but I know after this we're going to leave. But if I could work along again with Mr. Frazier.
listen, my deal on this is, I'm in the business, but I'm gonna have to bid on it, like, because she's gonna have to,
We're not so much as a bidder, because we do the developing. And any developer that has actually somebody that's boots to the ground. Mr. Frazier's the boots to the ground here. So it wouldn't be
I would
anything
like to
like
do
that.
But
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, but I know you have to have a process, but I think it's a picture
Don't we have land
shows
to
a,
buy that one?
Is Phelps mandated to buy this power back at a certain
No,
rate?
but that's another beauty part. If Phelps say, no, we don't want to do it, you could sell that power to the Texas grid, and there would be other utility companies that be willing to buy it. You might,
well, one thing I don't do is unless I'm 100% sure, will I quote, I won't be able to do anything, like I said, until I drive that car, until we do an analysis and do some preliminary work with all of you, work with Henrietta, and come back and see.
I mean, okay, first of all, I like the fact that he's a local. I mean, he may not live in the city limits, but you live out there.
Well, but along those same lines, we've got 125 employees.
But that's what I'm saying.
75 of them.
You're not
live right
gonna,
here in this
I
area.
don't think you're gonna foul your own nest in your own hometown.
No,
And I like that about you being a local. And the other thing is we're talking about this retail coach. And, you know, I think that is a sales point that is very powerful because a lot of these companies nowadays want to go green. And I think that, you know, whether it's a Chick-fil-A or a Chili's or something, if they could have a logo that they use green energy produced locally here in Floresville from solar power, I think that that would be a very, very good thing. I think it would mean a lot to a lot of our younger generation.
Would this pot plant be some of your property out there towards our industrial park?
if I could cut a deal with y'all, if y'all want.
Well, we have
I-
No, I'm
I
just,
mean-
the way I'm thinking, I know it's 22 acres out there, say you did something, and you're trying to drive that park to grow it, and you did something like that out there, and you could give people lower electric bills to be out there, would that help get that park
See,
thriving?
here's the economics of it, is it's gonna have to be to where it is, to where it has a payback to it. Because see, when I first built the system out there, when I first put it up, and I was talking to the Phelps people, it was gonna have payback in 8 years. And that system is gonna last 20 to 30 years, you know, so that first 8 years, I mean, you know, yeah, it's cost me that first 8 years, but then for the next 22 years or so, my electricity bill is gonna be free.
And there's some factors in land. I'm working with the property, I work all over the state of Texas, okay? I've been here several times when there was economic stimulus money to talk to the city manager who said, you know, we'll take care of it ourselves. So it doesn't matter, and that was before Mrs. Turner. It doesn't matter if I'm local or not, I have a vested interest in solar deployment. So,
But I'm saying from the construction thing,
yeah, for
I
what
like,
what any business model that I've had, it's to go into a community and use the local electricians, the construction workers, through education. I even bring an education curriculum that I teach to the schools as free, to explain to the students how solar power works. So I'm just an all-in
The
solar.
next step, you're looking just for someone to say, okay, we'll look at this, and then y'all work together and come back with some type of presentation.
Sure,
That's
I'd be
what-
glad, we'll be glad to do that.
And I can tell you,
Even heard
one of
about
the
it
big
just
costs in this is gonna be the land, is the property in developing the land to where, you know, finding a place where the topography's right, it's not in a flood zone, and it's close to some power lines to where you're gonna be able to get power out of there, and exactly about how big a system do y'all want. But see, that's one of the beauty parts, is you can start off with this size, and it can just continue to get bigger and bigger. You can start off with one phase, sell out that one phase, go to the next phase, sell out that phase. But I'm pretty sure that if you guys would get behind this, it could sell out before it's ever built.
Yeah.
Because you just wouldn't be selling it to the people here. She could market it all over the state, and there's a lot of people that want that tax credit.
If I'm in Floresville, let's keep it here. I solely 100% agree with you, that bring it here for the benefits of the citizens.
yeah, I mean, I'm really, you know, to me, I mean, I understand your thing about making money and everything, but I think the real sales point is to businesses marketing themselves as green. I mean, maybe nobody in the oil field will ever stop there, but the rest of them, the rest of the town's gonna go there. And I think it's the new direction in life, and at some point in time, I think this town needs to jump on the, you know, let's not be the last ones to jump in on the solar energy. That's, you know, this is progressive for a town our size.
The thing is too, is being in this for over 20 years and looking at it, back 20 years ago, it was really cost prohibitive to do this. But the equipment and stuff, the price of it's got to where it's not really that bad. You know, you were asking for an estimate. The bigger the scale, the smaller the cost. You know, because you got an economy of scale. But you know, depending on the cost of land, it can run you any place from $2 a watt to $3.50 a watt.
Well, I looked into this about 10 years ago, and I talked to some people in California, and they said, they looked it up where I was at and everything, and they said that as of now, it wouldn't be cost effective right now.
Well,
That was 10 years ago.
right.
So.
What happened with CPS is a company I worked with, we submitted a proposal for the 450 megawatts. They took our entire business plan, including manufacturing, and Mr. Frazier and I were talking about this earlier, manufacturing the panels and mission solar. So we brought in our proposal, we said you would be a manufacturer, a distributor, you would be near the port of authority to export, and we would use all local businesses and teach at the college. 2 out of the 3 things they did, and the other ones they didn't. So,
I'd like to ask if, do you see any businesses that might start up, because we're looking for jobs, and businesses that create more jobs by having something like a solar farm?
A solar farm,
I
but
mean, can we attract other solar-related industries, or is it just total marketing to start from scratch?
during the installation of the actual construction of the solar farm, the development part, because we would definitely love to use local engineers. During the construction, it would be because the clearing of the land, preparing the land, using as much local steel for the balancer system it's called, which is the post, using perhaps panels for mission solar or something that's more energy efficient. So the actual construction process, there would be a lot of local jobs. You would also be a period of maintenance, make sure that, I did a project in the city of Jordanton, and there's some coyotes that were just sunning underneath of the panels, and they were helping themselves to the wire. And they called me, and they said, Sharon, we got a bill from Carnes Electric for $12,000. We have never had that. I said, what happened? I said, you have to look at your inverter, we have to look at your wiring. They were flipping out. They had never seen a bill for that 240 kW we did in the city of Jordanton. They never saw a bill like that. They flipped out. They called, I was home asleep. You know, they called me, and I said, so they got it all corrected. So to answer your question, there would be a level of operation and maintenance. There's a level of cleaning it, make sure all the parts work, and then inverters are down, and then there's a battery storage you can possibly get into. So you can go from having a project that's cost effective to save you money, save the utility company money, and for the benefit of the citizens. I'd like to say that's great.
Mr. Brown, I think it's great. I think there's an interest here. If you could possibly get something put together and get back with us.
I have one question. I'm going to admit this sounds silly, but I was born and raised here, and I grew up, and we had guns. And on a Friday or Saturday night, there's kids that get excited and go shooting road signs and everything. What happens if a kid shoots these things?
Well, I have a little
They'd be
system.
shot.
I have a little sensor that goes off of my house, and it'll go, come away from there. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we're going to have to replace the panel. I'm not being real. I know
No, but let
when I
me
was
explain to
16.
Well, there's
there's
security systems and
everything is.
That's a question I want to get on.
No, there's a warning that you put in the electrical system, the barbed wire fences around it. But do you remember that? That's true, but I didn't have it. Do you know the recent hailstorm? The hailstorms?
Uh-huh.
Down the solar farm that OCI, that was up Ben Zegelman, 1604 in San Antonio, there's a tracker that follows the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and at night it flatlines, and all that hail, all that night, smashed a lot of those panels. Unless they're using it to target packets, bam, 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 there's some damage, but most of them bounce off.
Okay.
Well, they
There's
can
a,
take
there,
that.
you know, that's in anything.
I know it sounds
That's
silly,
in
but
anything.
Right,
That's
I
in
think
anything.
we do
There's-
it where he said we just, let's give a
You
proposal
have
back.
to have some kind of security plan for it,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah, you
because
have
you're.
to,
I
and
think
that's
everybody's
another,
interested.
that's another job. There's
Yeah.
a maintenance person
Yeah,
there,
security man.
24 security.
I'm not trying to be silly, but let's be real.
That's
I mean,
anything, you know, you put in new plumbing and the copper's gone, so.
Okay, let's
Actually,
move
let
on
me
to
tell
item
you,
13.
I understand where you're coming from, but you know, CPS was having terrible problems with people breaking into their substations and stealing copper and that kind of stuff. And they've come up with some pretty sophisticated systems to keep people out. You know, the other thing that I can offer you all is if you're interested in that property that I particularly own in, what they call it, Rancho Grande, on the industrial park. I don't know how much land y'all still have out
We
there.
have quite a bit.
See, that would be an excellent site. And
All this just got.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
Thank you.
all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna leave some business cards here.
Discussion item and possible action item number 13. Downtown property owner John Talamantes to explain his facade grant application and grant request to repair the front of his two-story property at 1311 3rd Street, Floresville. The facade repair bid is at $16,500.
All right, sir, how you doing?
Just fine, thank you.
Thank you, Mario, for about this.
Thank you all.
I just pass these pictures around. What we're looking at is, I've got a picture here, kind of got a 100-year-old building, and it's been sitting for a while, and it's got a lot of rust in it. We've got someone who's willing to come in and rent the place. They're looking at doing like furniture shops and stuff like that, other furniture. She's excited about bringing, downtown. But the problem is, let me just pass some of these pictures around, is we've got all these wood and windows that are, a lot of it's rotted out, so she's kind of just worried about, getting it fixed up, so. Mr. Baker told me about this program, so I thought I'd come in.
All right, have you ever applied for a facade grant before?
No, sir.
Look, the painting before the WCN painted, when they did the downtown project, they didn't do the windows.
That's not-
You know what,
that's
I
not
think
the
they
facade.
did paint it before, yes. My parents had it before, I think they got it painted.
That, you weren't the owner then?
Well, it was my father.
Okay.
My father's deceased now.
I think they redid like a lot of windows and painted stuff on different buildings.
Is that
Yeah.
what
They had the old downtown grant.
05?
I believe they just painted it.
Yeah, that was, what, 05 or something? I mean, that was a long time ago, so.
Well, I
So it's probably like 07, 08.
Yeah.
And the problem I'm having, what that we got is just the windows, water coming in. I don't know if y'all want to see some of these pictures. These little windows, there's water coming in, so there's rot actually on both sides, but I can't do anything inside without, first stopping the water coming in. And so, what we're looking at also is doing an awning, just kind of like the White House has next door, a nice awning, to put in place of this rotted one. So, probably add new windows on the bottom. Right here above the awning, so the awning's gonna go above it now. So it should cover up all the windows, there should be no water getting in from now on. They're gonna cover up all these windows and make sure there's all that's leak-proof. Fix up the drainage, all the drainage, and fix the concrete, and repair all the rotted wood that's there. So from there on, I can go on the inside and.
Do you have a tenant?
I do have someone that's she's already committed. She's just, like I said, just waiting. She wants to do a furniture shop and stuff like that, and gift shops. So she's already committed for a couple of years, just about getting that place together. And then from there, I want to go upstairs and start fixing up that place as well. So right now.
Oh, it's to make improvements on the
So, like,
facade, kind of.
Your total
what do we need
bill is
for the-
16.5?
Yes. That's what he's proposing right now, 16.5, but that's including fixing up all the rotted wood. There's no incline or slope on these windows.
You have to get that put to the historical
All
source,
wood
It's not a historical building, right?
Yeah.
It's not
You have a
historical.
copy of the bid proposal, Chance?
I sent it, I don't have it on the phone, I didn't get a copy of it, I just emailed it to Mr. Baker. What's that?
What are you looking for?
The copy of the bill proposal.
Cause I think before, don't we have to have like copies, like kind of material?
No, I think we just required like a drawing or whatever,
Yeah, that's what
what
it
was
was.
gonna be done.
Proposal design.
I don't remember an
Yeah,
actual list
here
of
are the
materials.
two, or the 3 pages, I don't know if that's what
Yeah, I
you're
think those are
looking
the
for.
things.
Then you have the scope of the.
Do we all have those?
Yeah.
The scope of the
And
work.
then the photo or the drawing.
Oh, here it is, right here.
I don't know.
Or
wouldn't have that. But it's not a sound though. I guess I'm so used to sound. This is just to do the facade.
It's, yeah, like when we did the cleaners and there, they redid the facade, and we did the facade to the Acadiana Theater, and then we paid, we did for the lodging, when they redid the Floresville building, we did facade there. But just the last few have just been signage, because they haven't needed to redo.
Oh.
I think the original thing of why they started this was to upgrade the older buildings.
Trying to make them look like the original.
Yeah,
No, that's right.
because we had the downtown grant, that's when we put the poles like.
And here
by
he's just calling
Reynolds.
it sheet rock.
Is it the same
I
amount?
think
The
what happened is I
threshold
just
up
came
to
in this week.
That's 75 on
And he just kind of, I think that other page has more, but I didn't get the details.
Now, it's okay going from like no post to putting
Unfortunately, I just came in
post?
here this week and I found out this meeting was today.
There's no,
And, I had him just.
because
email
like,
me that
the-
copy, like,
with the new
just
sidewalk
getting it
grant, things
for
like that.
this week.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sorry.
Put new
yeah,
sidewalks
everything I'm
in,
showing
sidewalk
here is what
stuff.
he's actually gonna do.
And they put in post, and they did it at a certain time.
That says a little more.
Load bearing,
detail.
is there some structural
You know,
stuff?
all
Like that? I
about
mean, that's what I'm
wood.
asking.
No questions?
Anything that's damaged. Yeah, that's a good, right there, that's what we spoke about, but he also put some of that on
If they're gonna add in more posts and stuff like that.
but that's pretty much all the stuff.
What type of post are you gonna add in the front?
As far as the sign,
Like, you said, like 4
Oh,
posts?
the post, he's gonna put a post to hold up the awning.
Yes.
Because right now, all the weight is coming over, holding up the awning is put on the
Yeah.
building.
So what kind of posts? I mean,
He's
before they
gonna
put 4x4s, and they look, you know, they look.
Well, I mean,
Like, is there?
that was up in the air, so
Yeah.
if there's something that y'all would prefer, because he did ask me, you know, what is downtown going for, what, you
The
know.
look, so like when they redid the post, like in Castro's place, they used to put 4x4s on. Are we looking for something more aesthetically pleasing versus, you know, you going in that doesn't have
I
any
think the
coverage?
original plan was to make them look as we did originally.
Because remember,
To the
like,
extent that you
when they
could
did
do
the
it.
post, when they did the post at the flower shop, they put metal posts, right?
Is there one that we can kind of look at?
They look at
I
the,
think Castro's the one on there.
no, not Castro's, the one by the flower shop, they put the metal post
That would be.
across from the
Okay.
police station.
Okay.
That was more of like,
Yeah.
because they went to Castro's, remember they didn't like the 4x4? So when they did the flower shop, the old flower shop right there, they put like these, and they painted them black.
But in any event, you know, if you look at old pictures or.
Yeah.
Yours might already be there, it's just a matter of.
And it's more also about what's gonna last, and I agree with, you know, the metal, same thing with the awning, I wanted him to use material.
Because others, if you look at, they're all crooked,
Yeah.
they're
no,
split.
Yeah, no, we're talking about something, I want something that's gonna last,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna, and the main thing about going over those windows is we're never gonna have that problem of leakage
Yeah.
to those
Well,
windows.
and the main thing is
Ray
bringing
has some-
somebody in there.
Well, yeah, I got somebody in there right now, so
You know, I mean,
they're ready to
empty
go,
buildings are
yeah.
no good.
And she's excited about getting downtown, you know,
And
going
it's got to
again.
do that.
Has everyone seen the handout?
Yes.
It's over here.
Okay.
The pictures?
No, the one right.
Yes.
Y'all want to act on this?
I make a motion that we approve for the max amount of $7,500.
I'll second that.
A motion by Scott, a second by Fred. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just work with Tommy on the kind of materials and things like that.
Okay,
And you'll,
Well, I think he's gonna do the best he
No, I
can
know.
to make his building look the best he can.
you can stay with the same color green, you're switching it?
no, I'm gonna switch.
Discussion
back.
item 14,
I
discussion
wanna go
about
with
selection
something that,
item.
you know, kind of, yeah, you know, exactly.
We're gonna move along.
Yeah, I remember the colonel painting that with your dad.
Y'all coming home.
Like,
Yeah, we're definitely getting rid of that, I promise you.
Item number 14, discussion item of possible action for budget. Review all line item budget accounts and funding amounts. Discuss, we're gonna do all this tonight?
We already, I made the motion, we table it.
Here's what we decided in the budget committee prior to the meeting. And Henrietta, we need you to weigh in on this, but we were gonna call a special board meeting on the 30th, July 30th, at 6:30, and only, and it's for the board to approve the budget. That's it. And do we need to have a meeting with council?
Yes,
If-
you need to have a meeting with the city council, so that you can tell them your ideas, your things, you know, whatever you are
If
discussing.
you're not the colonel.
Is to meet with the council to talk about whatever you all want to be able, to talk about a representative or something, so that it's your budget, you're deciding whatever you want. It's just that it comes into part of the city budget. And so that's the only time that we actually get to have a joint meeting.
So can we do it on 30?
Now,
I was texting my secretary, but they sleeping already. So we
number
have some meetings
14C is a named a week, which is next week, sometime between the